They see a problem, they go like, I can fix that problem and I know how to make money out of that problem. Think you can do that on your own? Go ahead, you'll fail. You can't just go from 0 to $100 million unless you win the lottery, and that's not a business model.
You're okay with pain. There's a lot of pain being a founder. Founder versus operator. The key differences and why both are essential. We probably can agree that both are essential.
Yeah, when you're looking at let's say you want to take a company A right now, they're doing 10 million baht, right? Yeah. And you want to take them to 300 million baht. You know, the founder might be really good at taking them to 10 million baht, but then the operator is going to be the one who comes in and understands like the entire system as well, learns as much as they can from the founder to then take that to the 300 million place that they want to be at. The operator is going to be the one who looks at it from an objective perspective, who can come in and make systems more efficient, come in and maybe make some hard decisions with labor-wise, that sort of thing. Take the best out of what the founder's got and then scale it. Now, a lot of times a founder also is that person who is an extremely good operator. But if a founder doesn't take the time to document all the systems of the company and make it into like a company Bible, operations manual, it's going to be difficult to hand that off to somebody else and take it to, say, like going public would be the end goal. This is going to be the same for business or any kind of different organization that you have. You have like the person who has the vision and then the person who can then take that vision and execute after the founder is done.
Which do you think is more difficult? Being a founder or being an operator?
Definitely the founder.
Why?
For sure. Because the founder is the one who goes from 0 to 1. The founder is the one who, when they see an idea, they see a problem. They see a problem, they go like, I can fix that problem and I know how to make money out of that problem. And then executing on that to where you have the initial thing set up, that's quite difficult. Especially if you get a founder who takes the idea from 0 to 1 and then survives 10 years. That's really difficult. But then the operator, especially if they're like a CEO who would be hired to come in and take over, their job is just to systemize and scale, which is much easier than figuring out the initial problem and solving the problem and then creating like a space in the market for that.
Do you think people should focus, when it's their first go around, should they focus on becoming a founder first or an operator first?
It definitely depends. You can do it both ways, for sure. Honestly, you have a privilege if you can come at it from the operating perspective. If you can work your way into an industry like shoes, and like you get on the sales/marketing team of the shoes company, then take your knowledge and your power and your passion, and then you grow the sales of that shoes company from like whatever to whatever amount. Then you have the privilege of like understanding systems and like understanding how the whole chain works from that perspective without any of the risk that the founder has, right? So that's why being an operator first has some advantages. But then, you know, if you're the founder and you literally manage to take something from 0 to 1, you know, the founder who then manages to then take an operator in and then release them, that person, I would bet that the successful founder who then managed to sell off their company, they can probably do it again. But an operator who just comes in and then wants to then go off on their own and have their own vision, maybe not.
Do you align more with being a founder or being an operator? You, yourself, your personality, who you are, what do you find matches you more?
Probably a founder. I think I'm an entrepreneur at heart.
You're okay with pain. There's a lot of pain being a founder.
Yeah, I'm okay with pain.
Okay.
But I also understand that it's easier to go in on the operation side, which is honestly what I'm doing now with climate change solutions. Like I'm coming in on the sales side, and then my goal is definitely to learn, like, you know, see the bigger picture as it goes on. Like see like, oh, this is how operations work, this is how human resources work, this is how like sales work, this is how the finance side works. Like if I have the privilege of coming in and then doing that and then taking what I know and then being like, oh, okay, so I have a vision for media. How do we use what we've learned here in the systems and then translate it? And actually it does. That's why I'm like, so interesting when CEOs of like, I just talked to last night, like you CEO of you know, a Samsung or will come in and then be the CEO of like a completely different industry. It's like, how do you, what? And the reason is because they just understand systems.
Exactly.
They understand management systems. And then the rest is just like product knowledge and like about how all the products fit into different places. But the skill of a CEO is managing people and decisions, fixing problems, managing people, making decisions.
Yes. Throw another topic out there. Why hope is not a strategy, the case for reverse engineering your success. Because
Couldn't agree more.
Why are people still hoping? Why are we still stuck in this world where we just create things and then we hope and pray that these things that we create, whether it's content, whether it's product, whatever it may be, will hit the moon, will go sonic boom?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. I was that.
Okay.
I definitely am that in some ways still. I built a little clothing brand, like little merchandise kind of store, and we made the designs. The designs were pretty good, and the sales were okay. At the time. But that was essentially just like making something and hoping people would sell it because people follow me and because they like me. And that's a model that a lot of the people around me, a lot of the kind of celebrity influencers making their own merchandise brands were doing as well. Now that's actually not the best strategy. Now knowing what I know now about like what we can actually know about our audiences, you literally can reverse engineer like what is the kind of product that you should be making based on who you are and your own personal branding. But I didn't know that until very recently, that I think I had only heard in concept about people like reverse engineering their success. A lot of talking heads on Instagram and definitely a lot of business people will say that that is the solution. But until you actually do it yourself, like you don't really know what it means. That's definitely what it means. Reverse engineering your success means like, okay, you have a goal in mind, right? You have I want to make $100 million. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, we need this number of people to pay us X number.
So we're starting at the end first.
Starting at the end
goal.
First. Yep.
Okay, and then we're moving backwards.
And then we're moving backwards. Okay. So the way you get to $100 million is you can't just go from 0 to $100 million,
right?
Unless you win the lottery, and that's not a business model.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to build a company. We have to build a company that does X product or service, okay? And then once we have that X product or service, then we have to scale it to a place where this company is now growing X number of sales per year to then get to a point where we do that. So, but then you have to look at the market. I was like, okay, what's the product and service that's in the market right now that nobody else is doing, that we have a unique product that we can then optimize and be like, okay, this product is going to service this market, and we know we can win because of X, Y, and Z, because we have this person, we have this resources, this whatever. And then we just make the plan, and then we execute on the plan. And then, your plan's gonna go to shit, and then you have to like reiterate and pivot.
A lot of pivoting.
Yeah, a lot of pivoting until you find the right product and service. That's how you reverse engineer. Is you have to start at the end.
Start at the end.
And then work your way backwards. Like, okay, $100 million per year. What does that mean in terms of sales of thing that you want to try and sell? What I see people doing is like, I ask a lot of people like, I want to get rich. Like people say that they want to get rich, and I'm like, okay, well, how are you gonna do that? Oh, like probably business. Like, okay, well, what kind of business? Oh, like maybe like a coffee shop. I'm like, oh, well, that's not really the way to get to $100 million. That's just sort of the way that you say you want to get rich. Okay, I'm all for it. Let's figure out how to do it. There are correct business models to go after, and there are not the correct business models to go after if you're looking for money at scale.
Mastering the attention economy, how networking skills are your most valuable asset.
Interesting. I think those are a bit unrelated. Well, okay, they're related, but I would say that mastering the attention economy has to deal with your content strategy. What that means is like, okay, which platform are you going after? You're going after YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Now we pick a platform that we want to go after. What's the kind of content that you want to produce that also makes sense with either your existing audience or the audience that you want to go after?
Right.
Mastering the attention economy doesn't necessarily mean I want to go after everybody, depending on your goal of what you want to do. Do you want to sell a product? Do you want to send out a message? Do you want to do it like a YouTube video that has 10,000 views, but it's directed at the exact people that you want to get to? That's a lot of value. That's 10,000 people who really appreciate your content.
Want your product.
Really want your product. So that's sort of what mastering the attention economy means, I think, to me. Networking, why networking is important in general is that you can't do anything alone.
Yes.
Even myself, or as you grow up in my industry in terms of the largeness of your celebrity following, whatever, actually you end up making more money, more use out of your time by employing the right people to work for you in the behind the scenes. Yes. That's how you scale effectively. And that's networking. You have to meet those people. Mm-hmm. You can hire them through job sites and whatever, and that's also a great option. But meeting somebody who you like and who you know is more of what happens in hiring. If we're being really honest, you know somebody who is highly recommended from somebody you trust. That's like how a lot of hirings happen, even in like big corporate, you'd say. Of course, you go through a vetting process of like making sure that like you can actually do the things that you say that you can do, but that's sort of how a lot of hirings happen, how you get a foot in the door for sure. And then also being likable, that helps in networking. Like also utilizing your friends as resources for information. That's why networking is important, because your brain is a sponge. You're going to soak up a lot of information, but there's just no way that you're going to be able to know everything that you need to know about your business, to start a business, to do whatever that you want. You're going to need advice from people who know more than you. Yeah. You should, because if you think that you're going to start a company like that involves software engineers and involves designers and that sort of thing, you think you can do that on your own? Go ahead. You'll fail. You need people. You need people who know more than you.
It's okay, and you should ask for help.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why do you think it's so hard for a lot of people to ask for help? Why do you think they just, try to do it themselves? Or is it a pride thing, an ego thing? Is it more of a, I don't want to have others kind of meddle in, what I'm doing? What do you think it is?
It's a great question. There are levels to people who don't want to ask for help, and it depends on the problem that you're trying to solve for when and why you're going to ask for help. Some people might be really easy to ask for help in business, but then really struggle to ask for help about personal issues, or vice versa. Really good at asking for help in personal issues, but afraid to reach out to somebody for help in business because they're worried about looking stupid. Mm-hmm. Right? That sort of thing. I think they're just things that you gotta understand your own limitations. The more that you can understand yourself about like, okay, what are my goals? What am I good at? What am I not good at? What do I need in order to get to my goal to succeed? Okay, I don't understand this aspect. Let me go and ask this person to fill in that knowledge gap here, so that this thing can then move forward to the next step. That's kind of how you have to do it if you want to accomplish anything real. Again, it's all about the goals. It's all about, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? And then, like you're saying, reverse engineering backwards how to get there. Yeah. And then like if in your reverse engineering plan you have like skills gap, knowledge gap, well, you have to find that. You have to find that somewhere, whether it be someone that you hire or someone that you would advise, hire part-time, or somebody who's just like your friend who wants to come in and help for a specific thing, all about your goals.
We were talking about founders. Do you believe that there's a certain trait that you have to have in order to be a successful founder? I mean, anyone can be a founder, right? But to be a successful founder, what, in your opinion, do you believe is that one trait? No matter what, if you don't have this trait, don't even think about trying to be a founder and trying to be a successful founder.
Planning, habits, and then self-belief.
Okay, so which one is more important in your eyes? You gotta choose one.
Oh, then self-belief.
Self-belief.
Yeah.
Self-belief.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means when things get tough and when people shoot you down, you gotta continue to believe. Now, one could argue, wait a second, like...
Self-belief doesn't necessarily mean that like I have this product and that I'm gonna sell it no matter what.
Okay.
Right? It means that you're gonna try.
Yeah.
And then if it fails, because we like failing,
okay,
then we do something else.
Okay.
That's what self-belief means. It means that at the end of the day, like the knowledge that I have and the skills that I have are gonna take me to where I want to go, and I'm gonna continue to fight to figure out until I get that yes or that deal or that whatever.
So someone that never gives up. You're like a cockroach. You're just always there, plugging away, like Brian Chesky of Airbnb.
That can be backfiring if you're a founder and you only believe in a certain product.
Okay.
That's where it can get rough.
Okay, how does it get rough?
So like you feel like you have a product, but It's just not the actual way to solve the thing that you're trying to solve, or there's a much better way that exists in the market already. And you think that this thing that you have, this software that you have, is gonna be the one true answer, and that's just not what the market is saying. That's just not the reality of it. So at that point, you have to set very careful KPIs with yourself. Like, okay, if by this time, we haven't hit this level of whatever, then we need to, reevaluate. That's really what it.
You gotta be flexible.
Yeah,
So it's a combination of self-belief and flexibility.
But when we're talking about most important, it's gotta be the self-belief. Like, if you don't believe that you can do it, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah. And that's one of the toughest things for most people.
Yeah.
Is they kind of cross over because they have imposter syndrome. Often,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so self-belief, if you can kind of cross over, kind of get past that, I think that would be extremely valuable and one step in the right direction, right, for being a successful entrepreneur. This has been great. Wow, Luke, really appreciate you coming here and riffing with me, debating with me, talking through all these topics with me.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard of Luke or haven't kind of seen Luke, now's your chance. You can just click right here. This is Instagram right here. We'll also put his TikTok. I think you've got a TikTok presence, right? Make sure to follow Luke. He's got a lot of cool content, a lot of things that he's doing, projects that he's involved with that are soon going to be rolling out.
Yeah.
All right, for you guys to enjoy. Yeah, man, thanks for coming in. We'll do this again.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again soon, guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.